Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have read that right. We are live on Twitch with the return of the Premier Series. Hello and welcome back to the, round one of the Premier Series. Season 7, I think this is. And we have got a grid of 18 drivers hitting the track of Silverstone, which will host the first round of this championship. Has it done so back in 1950 for this season? We've kind of changed the calendar slightly. We've gone a bit different to the usual standard format we've done in the past. We've shuffled some of the tracks around. We've got some new tracks, some old tracks that we like to use, and some interesting ones, which should hopefully make for an interesting championship. We're here in qualifying as Dutch Musso sets the first time on the board. 1 minute 28.7. 4 tenths quicker than Alexander behind in the Williams. So hello everyone, welcome. We should be live on Twitch. I'm just going to do my usual audio check to double check my audio is all a-okay. Let's get some stuff up on the screen using the technical term. Let's get the full track map up as well, so we can see any yellow flags. We're currently watching the Ferrari of Lucas make his way through Magras and Beckett's. The yellow flags in the middle sector final sector appear to be cars they're putting out of the way. Lucas has the DRS wide open, the drag reduction system. We've got a few more lap times coming in. EJM Cool goes 2 tenths clear. No, that's more than 2 tenths. That's 1.2 seconds clear on the soft tyre in the Red Bull. One Ferrari was on pole, now down to third. What about the other Ferrari? Car number 2. Can he put himself higher than second place? Currently in 10th, hasn't set a time on the mediums, goes third. And that is a really good lap time. 9 tenths off provisional pole. Yellow flags in all 3 sectors, but doesn't appear to be anyone off. The Haas coming through the final corner. That is Adidas on the mount lap, starting one of his flying laps. Everyone, apart from 4 drivers, on a lap time at the minute. A few drivers in the pit still. We're kind of at a phase where everyone's set their first laps and coming into the pits. I haven't done my audio check, so just bear with me for just 2 seconds. Apologies about that. Audio is all a-okay on my end. Just let me know in the chats if anyone's having any difficulties with it. Trouble is with a new season is learning everyone's name and we're trying to put a name to a car and also pronouncing some of these interesting names you can see on the left hand side. We've got some new names, we've got some drivers who have returned, made their way up through the academy, former freshmen, Premier Series drivers as well. So it's good to see a load of new drivers as well as those who have stuck around for the most part. We've got how do we say this? Well, it's almost Pies Chew. Let's go with that. Pies Chew. We're kind of splitting the name in 2. If you are watching, please let me know if I am pronouncing that wrong. But we're going to go with Pies as a more of an abbreviated version of the name. Welcome to everyone who is tuning in. Anyway, goes up into 5th place in the Alpine with a 28.6. Drops down into 6th. I think that was Adidas. Or Adidas if you're a bit weird. It goes up into 5th place in the Haas on the mediums. 4 or 5 drivers on the mediums, 3 of them inside the top 10. Some traffic in the middle sector as 2 Aston Martins make their way through. Liam and Royal Rumble, 1 on the soft tyre, 1 on the medium. I don't know if Royal Rumble's on a lap. He's going into the pits, almost thought about it. Liam's going to continue on though on another lap on the soft tyres. Comes around the final 2 corners. Does look like he's going to improve, does improve by 3.5 tenths, goes up into 4th place, a 10th behind Adidas on the mediums. Lucas in the Ferrari though in a good position, he's on the medium tyre, up in 2nd place. So could be one to watch in this championship. The thing about starting a new season and a new championship is we don't know from the offset who has got the pace or who your championship contenders are likely to be. We're getting a good idea though by this first qualifying session. Dutch Musso starts a lap, or did he just finish? No, I think he's starting a lap. So let's get an on-board lap of the Ferrari then. Let's talk us through it. Through turn 3 into 4, hooks it up quite nicely on the inside. We can't quite see the apex because of the leaderboard, but it does hook it up quite nicely. Want as little steering angle as possible, going down one of a few straights at this track. It's very high speed at Silverstone. It is getting a little bit cloudy as he makes his way through the middle sector. Doesn't go too deep, doesn't go too shallow, just keeps it quite nice, as a famous Goldilocks once said about her porridge. In the run down towards Copse, a famous corner for both overtakes and incidents, turning in at the 50-metre board, almost flat out. A little lift, he's got a little bit of slipstream from Nico Zora in front of him, making his way through Maggots and Beckett's, hooking up all the apexes nicely. The downshift to 7th into 6th, down 2 to 4th before short shifting back up into 5th, working your way through the gears all the way up to 8th with the DRS wide open as the clouds loom large over the circuit, braking just after the 50-metre board into Stowe. I think it's Stowe, I really should know. Into towards the final few corners, braking at the 100-metre board. Hooks the first apex nicely, doesn't take too much of the inside curve, nor does he run wide. This could be a good lap from Dutch Musso. It is improved by 7/10, goes up into 5th place for the Ferrari team as Nico Zora starts his second lap. Vote kick 2 out of 5. I kind of read that as if I was a robot. Has joined the lobby. He's not on the leaderboard, but I think he was someone who said he would join late. So we've got 19 drivers on the grid, and he will be in the Alfa Romeo or the Alfa Tauri. Get your bets in the chat. Who do you think Vote to Kick will be driving for? Alfa Romeo or Alfa Tauri? They're the only 2 teams left. Obviously, some people know. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see if he pops up on the leaderboard or in the race. Let's see if anyone else is on a lap. Looks like Mason is on a lap. He's improving by 500s. Currently running in 3rd place. If he keeps this pace up, he will jump Lucas, but he's on the medium tyres. It's getting cloudy. We know what the weather can be like at Silverstone. It can be quite unpredictable in the game, less so in real life, just kind of due to when the British Grand Prix is held in the calendar year. Let's just have a quick look to see if we've got... I think this is our provisional pole sitter, EJM Cool on a flying no. He's gone at least 11 seconds on the lap. That could be his time through the middle sector though, so we'll keep on board with the Red Bull. He appears to be pushing. He's got Nico Zora in front of him, a little bit of dirty air through the final few corners. Would have had slipstream though, down the straights. Can he extend his pole? Yes, he does. 27.5 goes clear. Is it raining? It is raining. It's raining at the end of qualifying, so it's important to get your laps in now. Mason goes to the provisional pole with 10th clear. 27.4 on the soft compound tyres. It's going to be unlikely if we see drastic improvements. Vote kick is in the Alfa Tauri. So anyone who said Alfa Tauri, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. Royal Rumble is 6/10 up on his lap through the middle sector, but will be slightly hampered by the wet weather conditions. Yellow flags through the first sector. I think that's just a slow Mercedes getting out of the way of the McLaren. Through the final few corners now for the Aston Martin. Let's see what he can do in these tricky conditions. We're not quite at the crossover phase. We've still got 4 minutes to go. Goes up into 4th place. Improves by 9/10. So Royal Rumble could be a driver to watch, improving on a slightly damp track. Errol in the Haas, he's 8/10 down. What about Liam? He's on an outlap. Drivers desperately trying to get out on the circuit to finish their laps. Nico Zora, an academy driver from last season, invalidated and is into the pits. Anyone else on a lap? EJM Cool comes into the pits, has put his Red Bull on the front row of the grid in 2nd place. But I don't think anyone else is going to be improving. Alexander going around the final corner. Not the final corner. Goes into the... No, he doesn't. He stays out. will try and complete the lap, but he is not improving from a 29.1 and has just invalidated. Yeah, British weather, Piero factually says in the chat. Looks like everyone's diving straight back into the pits. Doesn't look like anyone is going to be improving. Yeah, it is. It's almost time for intermediates. The kind of crossover point for this game is when you can see the spots on the circuit. Riding on board with Liam, you can kind of see them forming. That's when you know that there's the start of the crossover point. Maybe not yet. It doesn't look like there's enough rain for now. But if it kept going, then you can kind of see puddles faintly on the track. Lucas qualifying P3 on the mediums, doing an impressive job getting out on those tyres before the rain. I mean, look how close it is in the midfield. I mean, from Lucas, from 3rd to 8th, they're separated by a 10th. That is how close this grid is. The advantage out in front, separated by only 600ths of a second. Got Shortbread in the chat saying it is easy to invalidate here. Definitely is. I went quickly checking to see if you're in this lobby, but your name is not on the leaderboard, so I can only assume you're either in the Super League or you deciding to take a break season. And Liam has been disqualified for going the wrong way after spinning at turn 3. So after all that hard work for qualifying in P10, now drops to the back of the grid for P19. It's a disaster for Aston Martin. Vote to Kick hasn't got a lap time in when he rejoined. Oh, sorry, from when he joined the lobbies. Validated his lap time. Alexander's also retired. But I don't think these are... I think these are all manual retirements, as we're not going to get any improvement. Race control have disabled the DRS. But Pierre, I think Pierre has made a mistake with the lobby settings. I think car performance is unrealistic because both Mercedes are at the back of the grid. No, I'm joking. Robert Caldfather and Willie Sanker back at it again in the Mercedes, qualifying 16th and 17th respectively. We've got Lee Craig in 15th, Alexander in 14th, Nico Zora in 13th place on the mediums, but actually we'll get to it in a minute. Erod in 12th, Tutor Boy in 11th, and all those drivers I've just said will get a free choice of tyre for qualifying outside of the top 10, which could make strategy interesting, especially if there's rain. Pies 2 in 10th, just rounding out the top 10. Adidas in 9th on the mediums, almost ended up in the barrier. Kanan in 8th, Dutch Musso in 7th, Jansu in 6th. I believe that's Jutsu Kev in 5th. A lot easier to say than APSR Kev. Royal Rumble in 4th, Lucas in 3rd on the medium tyres. Really impressive from him. And EJM Cool in 2nd place, with Mason on the front row of the grid. Yeah, it's just easier to say Jutsu Kev. Sean saying he had oversteered through cops. I'm not seeing a Sean on the list. If you would like to, what's your lead username? Just so I have a brief. Not a brief. What am I trying to say? I'm guessing you're not going to be Lucas, because Lucas sounds like someone's name. I'm going to say you're not Alexander. I'm going to say you're Pies 2. I have no idea if you are. I'm just totally guessing. Jessica, how come you're not in the Super League? I remember you being super fast. He's not. He's really slow. He was battling me last season. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Jitsi Kev, one of the quicker drivers in the league. I got it right! Pies. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the pronunciation. See, I'm just a genius. Guessed correctly. Just kept saying he's not been racing in the past few months, so he's decided to. He's not probably as quick as he was when I beat him. No, I'm joking. I think we've had good battles in the past, Jitsi Kev and I. We won the weekend league, I think. I can't think back to 2 years ago. It's been a while, Jitsi Kev. It's been a while for commentary. You know, we've got to hit the road back at it again with insults, humour, jokes. Got to get all the viewers engaged. I just saw Antonio Giovinazzi join us on the leaderboard. So everyone's in a massive Alfa Romeo sandwich. Let's get on to qualifying then. Not on to qualifying, we've just had qualifying. Mason has put his Alfa Romeo on provisional... No, not provisional pole position, unless we're doing another qualifying session. He is on pole position with a 1 minute 27.4, also with a 1 minute 27.4. 500ths behind is EGM Cool in the Red Bull. Lucas behind in the Ferrari, but on the mediums. I'm judging by the fact that Lucas is starting this race on the mediums. The race isn't going to start wet. But we could see a Ferrari versus a Red Bull for the top flight of this race, which would be very reminiscent of real life. Real Rumble in 4th place ahead of Jutsi Kev in 5th. Jansu in 6th with Dutch Musso in 7th. Kanan in 8th with Adidas in 9th. And I completely forgot how to pronounce your name. Let me just scroll back through the chat. Piesco. I'm going to go Piesco. I think that's right. Tootie Boy in 11th. Oh, look what you've made me do. Tootie Boy in 11th, followed by someone in 12th, someone else in 13th, a different driver in 14th, someone I haven't said in 15th, followed by, I think, the Mercedes of Woody Sanko and Codfather in 16th, 17th. Someone got disqualified, so someone's above him in 18th. That's the grid. And it's unusually dry. But just waiting for all the drivers to select their setups, remove or add any fuel, change their tyres, think about who they're going to take out first. That's how I start my races. You know, setup, tyres, fuel, and then who I want to take out at turn 1. I don't recommend it. And that's how I won a championship. No, I'm joking. Hopefully we get no bugs. There was an update yesterday. Predicted pit stop strategy on the screen. Softer medium or softer hard around lap 10 as Mason leads the field away for the formation lap. The most boring thing, personally, in this game. Because I pretty much go flat out on the formation lap anyway. It's the same speed as I do normally. Same with a safety car, to be honest. I don't see the point of safety cars. I'm flat out. I'm the same speed under a safety car as I am flat out. For anyone who's not getting it, that's a slow joke. It's a slow joke. I'm trying to read chat at the same time. Doing my promotion for the first GT7 event. Let's build this up. Got to do it like an advert. Are you a racer into GT7? Then look no further, because on Friday the 1st of April we have our first GT7 event. What track, you may ask? Well, we're at Daytona in America. It's a new track added to the game, and we're in the GT3s. What a way to kick off the first event of our GT7 season. Not season. It's a one-off event, but who cares? It's for fun. We've got 24 laps of Daytona, 25-minute qualifying, because they haven't added qualifying, but we won't mention that. So if you want to watch, if you want to drive, we've still got one space available if you're watching this live. Message me if you're into GT7. I want to give it a go. Anyway, on to the Formula 1. I haven't got my facts. I haven't got the track facts. I was speaking to Pierre about this before. Hang on. I need someone to stall for a minute. Just sing a song in your head like it's elevator music. I haven't got any statistics. No! Wait! Drive slower! Can you imagine if Crofty just turned around and was like, hang on, if Hamilton could not join the grid and just wait till I get my facts up. As Mason puts his Alfa Romeo on the front row of the grid. We're waiting for Liam, the last driver, getting disqualified in qualifying to pull up on the back of the grid. Here we go, Silverstone, a track made up of 18 corners. Total track length of 5.891 kilometres or 3.6 miles. Usual race distance would be 52 laps, but we've got 26. Having a 5-lap race. Pole position on the left-hand side of the track. Fastest lap is I don't care. It's 5 red lights here at Silverstone. Actually, no, it's 0 red lights. Where are the red lights? Someone's forgot to flick the switch. I got all excited for no reason. Oh, I could have kept going with my facts. Anyway, drivers are full throttle for 70% of the lap. The downforce level is supposedly high. I would change that to medium. The longest flat out section is 100. No, it's not. It's 1,000 metres. Here we go. Now we have them fire the red lights. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Silverstone for round number 1. And it's lights out and away we go. It's a slow start from the Red Bull. We've got a McLaren spinning in the background. That's Jansu and a Haas as Mason leads the field into turn 1 east. AJM going down the inside of Lucas. The Ferrari gets their way in front. Yellow flags in the first sector. There's an Ferrari that's gone really deep and missed his braking zone. I think that's Dutch Musso making his way onto the track now in 16th place at the back of the grid. Willy Sanker from 16th to 10th. It's been a dream start for the Mercedes driver as they all filter their way down the straight in towards turn 6 into 7. Had to think for a second. Alexander looking to go round the outside of Errod in the Haas. Yellow flags. There is Paichu off in the background, drops to 18th place. I think there's more yellow flags for the Haas. The McLaren there, and Alexander going wheel to wheel into Cops. There's a little bit of contact between the two. They make it though through cleanly. The Haas of Errod and Tutti Boy now going wheel to wheel into Maggotts and Beckett. They've cut the corner. They haven't seen each other alongside. There's now the Alpha Tauri's made contact, and the Haas is sent into a 360. Will drop to nearly the back of the grid. Alexander, Willy Sanker up into 8th place. There's someone's off. I think that's Alexander in the Williams, who's got no front wing. Rejoins in front of the Ferrari. Got yellow flags everywhere. There's an Alpha Tauri. I think that's Vo kick down the inside of Kane and into Stowe. Gets the move down up into the points paying positions in P10. Will be slightly under pressure. Goes a little bit defensive. Caden tries to work it round the outside. Oh, there's not enough room on the inside. Lee's Crater. Penalties for speeding in the pit lane for a few. Oh, for the drivers. Dutch Musso trying to go for a move down the inside of Kanan's turn 1 as that Vo kick on the inside of Nico Zora. As Willy Sanker up into 7th place. Will be trying to hunt down Jutsi Kev 8 tenths behind Tutti Boy. Lucas 5 tenths behind Mason. 3 drivers into the pits to repair damage. Lucas though on the mediums. Really good start. Kanan and Dutch Musso going wheel to wheel. Let's get all the stuff on the screen now that the action is starting to calm down just a little bit. No, it's not. Dutch Musso and Kanan still going wheel to wheel. The Ferrari on the Williams, and car number 42 gets himself a pass. Car number 88, who might be under pressure from Robert Quadbarber in the Mercedes. As Willy Sanker and Liam go wheel to wheel into Cobbs. The Mercedes on the outside swoops round the outside of the Aston Martin, keeps the position. Liam drops, maintains 8th position for now. The yellow flag's coming out the pit lane. Not sure who that was for. As Alexander has retired at turn 3 manually on the circuit. That probably shouldn't trigger a safety car, and will just peel off to the side of the track as Jutsi Kevin Tutti Boy go wheel to wheel up in towards Stowe, and the AlphaTauri moves himself up an extra position in towards P5. But the train that leads the front of the grid, Mason, Lucas, EJM Cool, 2 on the medium. 2 on the soft, 1 on the medium. Lucas is in a really good position. He needs to harvest some of that overtake if he's to make it work, because come the end of the race, it's quite difficult to save the overtake at this track. Liam trying to put pressure on Willy Sanker. He's got a bit deep. That could set the Aston Martin up for a potential move to the inside. The swoops around the outside, of the Mercedes. The grip he has, the confidence on those soft compound tyres. They're still going to go wheel to wheel. Beautiful camera angle showing the two cars side by side. Willy Sanker has to back out off in the end. I'm going to actually get rid of the tyres just so we can see more on the screen as Vo kick gets ahead of Nico Zora up into 9th place. Dutch Musso will be trying to set himself up for a move. It's EJM Cool looking for a move on Lucas as Craig has retired on pit exit. Let's have a look at the McLaren to see if that was a spin. I can't ride on board just yet. He's lost it at turn 1, I think, rather than coming out of the pit lane. Doesn't look like it's going to trigger a safety car as the leaders making their way through Chapel. separated by 0.3 of a second. Who's going to use more of their overtake? Who's using less wing angle? No one close enough to go for a move. What about Kanan and Dutch Musso? The Williams closely behind the Ferrari, making their way up into Stowe. It looks like it's going to be Dutch Musso on the inside of the Alpine. That was very close to hitting the rear right. The Ferrari and the Alpine going side by side. Yellow flags for the McLaren of Jansu. Kanan and Nico Zora now going wheel to wheel in the background. Still wheel to wheel, very Leclerc Verstappen-esque. And it is Nico Zora who gets ahead or maintains ahead of Kanan in 11th and 12th place respectively. The leaders separated by minuscule margins. EJM closer to Lucas than Lucas is to Mason. Has got a good run though, weaving to break the slipstream. The Ferrari on the other side of the Alfa Romeo. EJM calls onto the grass. He's off the track. Lucas swoops up into the lead of the race. Jutsikev round the outside of Royal Rumble. He gets the move done up into 4th place, and he's working his way through the field. I've got a feeling this battle's not going to be over just yet though, because Royal Rumble's got a good exit through left field, but he isn't close enough to go wheel to wheel into Copse. Kanan looking to put the pressure on Nico Zora. He's had a good run through Copse corner, through Maggots and Beckett's now. As turning our attention back up to the leaders, making their way through Stowe. Can Royal Rumble fight back against Jutsikev? He looks to the outside, takes a wider line. Nothing on this occasion though. Nico Zora and Kanan now going wheel to wheel into Stowe. The Williams on the inside gets the move done. Dutch Musa makes his way past Willy Sanker, the Ferrari, now ahead of the Mercedes. Lucas on the medium sets the fastest lap of the race. As Erod going for a move on Pi and gets the move done up into 13th place. Back up to the leaders though, the Red Bull close behind the Alfa Romeo. EJM and Mason fighting away with Lucas, who's going to be vulnerable without the DRS. The drag reduction system allowed when you're within a second of the car in front going through the DRS detection zone. As EJM thought about it, but couldn't quite find a way through, nor could Royal Rumble. Sets behind Jutsikev for now. What about Rod in the house? Can he look for a move? Not on this occasion. He hasn't actually got the DRS. Not sure why. Maybe they're wheel to wheel over the DRS detection point. But look how close EJM is behind Mason going through Copse. Only 0.3 separating the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo. Supporting to get a good run through Chapel to open up the DRS. Uses a lot of his overtake. It's now down to 50%. Willy Sanko gets the first 3-second time penalty of the season. But the front three separated by nothing. And Lucas, he's on the medium compound tyre. 2 cars behind should, in theory, be blitzing past. Meanwhile, Kanan getting past Willy Sanko to, after having an incredible start, going up into 6th place. Willy Sanko is starting to lose a few positions. He's dropped down to 11th place. Still has a lot of his overtake left to use. The front three separated by 0.3 of a second each. 0.6 overall. Looks like Lucas is really good through the first sector. He seems to pull out an advantage over Mason, who's now under pressure from EJM. But EJM couldn't quite get close enough to go for a move. Maybe he might set himself up for a move into Copse. There's a little bit of contact through turn 7 into 8. He's got a good run, taking a wider line. Looks like Mason's deploying more of the battery and exit to maintain the gap in front, close down the gap to Lucas. Not saying this track is bad for overtaking, it certainly isn't, but when you're in a train like this, it starts to turn into a DRS training. For EJM Call, it's going to be hard for him to get past Mason if the Alfa Romeo doesn't make a mistake, as we're getting the DRS from Lucas in front. Oh, there's the mistake, and he's ploughed into the advertising board. He's lost his front right tyre, exactly the same as Sergio Perez in the sprint race, and he is out on round 1 as the safety car is deployed. Are we going to see anyone box for the soft compounded tyre, or the hards even? Lucas is in off the medium, so is the front runners. Everyone into the pits apart from Vote Kick, staying out. on the soft. Does anyone else pit? Willy Sanka stays out. Nico Zora also stays out. But the first safety car of the season has come on lap 6, sorry. I thought it was lap 6 on the last lap. There we go, it is lap 7. I'm not going crazy. As Erod has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Paisco has got a 5-second penalty for a collision. Let's see what tyres he'll go on to. I'm going to predict hards. Ooh, we've got a mixed. Jansu picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. And he's going to have to wait for the Aston Martin safety car to pull into the pits before he can serve it. Let's look at the tyres. Half are on, they're literally alternate between mediums and hards. Oh my god, that is the prettiest grid I've ever seen. We've got mediums and softs, and mediums and softs, and medium hard, medium hard, medium hard, medium hard, medium hard. If only Adidas went on to the medium. Can't have everything in life, can we? But it's small things. Small things. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Vote Kick is now your race leader. Willy Sanka in second place and Nico Zora in third. As the top three stay out under the safety car, and I think the race director and the FIA should have a look at Vote Kick. I think he needs to be pulled into the pits on a health and safety measure. He is not wearing a helmet. That we've gone back to 1950. It's just a simple balaclava for the AlphaTauri driver. So I think he should be. I think he should pull into the pits immediately and be given a helmet of some sort as Willy Sanka pulls into the pits as Paistu retires under the safety car. Down at Copse corner, not Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, you'll see his car there, it is on the left. Willy Sanka picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Goes on to the hards. That completely ruins the nice pattern we had of everyone on alternate tyres. Robert Codfather picking up a 3-second time penalty for track limits under the safety car. Seeing a few penalties under the safety car where everyone should be going a reduced pace. Welcome Unique J in the chat. Can't remember if I mentioned you when you joined. Let's hope the restart is a clean one. Only time will tell. The safety car should be in at the end of this lap. We're on lap 8 of 26. Apologies, just reading everyone's comments in the chat so far. Great to see the support for the first race back after we were uncertain or not whether we'd be racing here at Silverstone. But the lights on the safety car are still on, as the McLaren of Jansu hasn't quite caught up yet. So it looks like we're going to get one more lap under the safety car before we get racing again. Yeah, I agree, Piero. We need to get that AlphaTauri into the pits before he breaks his head or skull. What lap? Lap 9 of 26 for drivers with a time penalty. Apologies about the silence. Not really much to talk about under a safety car. Crofty and Brundle make it look easy. What is there to talk about? It's the first league race of the season. We can't talk about standings. We can't really talk about who we think we're going to win. There's not really much to talk about. Subscribe, follow our Twitch. I sound really boring when I do this, don't I? Can you imagine if I'd done the commentary like this? I think I should do that for one race this season, just to bore everyone. And it's lights out and away we go. And what a good start it has been for the Ferrari. It's like we've swapped commentators with someone from golf. Oh yes, that's a really nice move on the inside. Anyway, let's bring the action back. Apologies if anyone turned their headset down for that, and I'm now bursting in their eardrums. The safety car is in this lap. Vote kick now becomes the de facto safety car. Someone's lost an end plate. End plate has gone flying as they are going really slowly down this straight. People are overtaking it. Hopefully the pace has picked up a little bit. They're doing 40 miles per hour. Some of the back are probably doing 30 miles per hour. Someone has lost an end plate. I'm not too sure who it is. It's the Ferrari of Lucas, who's lost his front left end plate. He'll be into the pits definitely to repair it. Carnage, and he's gone early. He's gone to repair his front wing. That has kind of forced Lucas into pit. It's a vote kick to go. Lucas has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's not coming up on the screen though. But away we go, and there's a massive gap between the Red Bull and Jutikev going through turn 1. Jutikev looking to try and find a way through Nico Zoro on a fresh set of the the medium compound tyres. Get his AlphaTauri ahead of that Alpine. He'll be looking to do it as soon as possible to start the hunt on his teammate. The gap 1.5 seconds. Vote Kick has had a good start off of the safety car. No moves being made down towards turn 6. Maybe the McLaren of Jiangsu and Adidas plows into the back of the house, and he's lost his front right end plate. Maybe wasn't expecting the house to go so unexpectedly slowly for maybe what he's been how fast he's been taking the corner. But that's going to drop it to the back of the grid. Lucas now in the barrier. It's looking so good for him after qualifying on the medium tyres in such a high position, fighting with the leaders before losing his end plate under the safety car. Jutikev now trying to find his way past Nico Zora. He's got a really nice run through Chapel. He's going to use the overtake, tucks in the slipstream of the Alpine, pulls over to the left hand side of the track. The outside for Stowe swoops round the outside. Tootie Boy on the inside of Liam gets the move done up into 6th place. Those fresh mediums working slightly better than the fresh hard tyres. Woody Sanker getting ahead of Adidas in the Haas, who might have rear wing damage from the collision with Jiangsu, who falls into the pits. Adidas also into the pits, maybe struggling as Liam picks up a 3-second time penalty as Nico Zora, Jutikev has pulled away from Nico Zora already. Now he's under pressure from EGM call in the Red Bull. Thought about a move on the inside, but he's got an Aston Martin closely almost pushing him behind through turn 4 and 5. Here we go in towards turn number 6, and these three closely following each other. Nico Zoro on a worn set of medium tyres. He's going to be under pressure from EJ Call. Is he close enough to go wheel to wheel into Cops? The closing speed is immense. Can he do it on the inside? Oh, this can't work. Oh, he's blocked backed out. In the end, Nico Zora's ran a little bit wide. It's cost him time. Liam on the Royal Rumble, on the inside of the Red Bull. They're wheel to wheel into Maggots and Beckett. A beautiful move from the Aston Martin. Sees himself up into 4th place. He's trying to now go down the inside of Nico Zora, but that's left him vulnerable to EJ in the Red Bull behind. They're now wheel to wheel as they make their way into Stowe. Trying to go down the inside of Nico Zora. This is going to be a double overtake. He's on the grass, cutting the corner, trying to find a way through. He's now under pressure from Tutti Boy. He's trying to go round the outside into the penultimate corner. The McLaren swoops round the outside, down the inside of the Aston Martin. A beautifully executed move. The switchback wasn't quite on for Royal Rumble. Loses a few positions in the process. He's now got his teammates closing in behind. Only a 10th going through turn 1. He's run a little bit wide. EJM Cool now trying to go round the outside of Nico Zora into turn 3, and a beautiful move on those fresh hards. Nico Zora might be struggling on the worn mediums. Little tentative on the throttle for the Aston Martin, but he's got a good run on the McLaren in front. Nico Zora with the DRS on EGM Cool. Can he go for a move on the inside? What about Royal Rumble on Tutti Boy? He's gone deep, he's off the track, his teammate goes through. Dutch Musso's going to now go round the outside into turn 8. Oh, that's how you do it at turn 8, ladies and gentlemen. Dutch Musso swoops round the outside of Royal Rumble. Kanan now going on the outside of the Aston Martin into Cops, swoops round the outside. Royal Rumble's gone wide, another Haas of Harold dives down the inside. Royal Rumble from 5th to 10th in the last lap. It's a lap to forget from the Aston Martin. The consistency's just been thrown out the window after battling with the front runners. Now he needs to try and pick himself up and get a little bit of composure back as Tutti Boy gets past Nico Zora. 11 lap old mediums not doing him all the best. He goes defensive. Maybe it's a lunge on the inside, right to the inside curb. That's going to cost his exit. The Aston Martin, so beautiful switchback. Liam gets the move done up into 5th place as Nico Zora starts falling down the grid after not pitting from the safety car. Here goes Dutch Musso looking for a move on the inside. He's late on the brakes and he's slowing down in time. Nico Zora just sees him on the inside, a little bit of contact, but the Ferrari goes round the outside and the Williams of Kanan might follow him through. Not quite. Harold though almost pushing Kanan through turn 5. No one close enough though to go for a move. Harold almost going into the back of Kanan's Williams. Going into turn 6, can Kanan go for a move on the outside of the Alpine? Not on this occasion, but he's got a good run up into Cobbs. Not good enough though to go wheel to wheel with the Alpine in question. As on that last lap, Royal Rumble did come into the pits to put on a fresh set of the medium compound of tyre. Here goes Jutsi Kev on his teammate. No team orders at AlphaTauri. He goes round the outside of his teammate in towards the final corner and gets the move done up into the lead of the race. Here goes Liam on the outside of Tutti Boy. Puts his Aston Martin up into 4th place. No one else going for a move down the field. We've got Adidas looking for a move into Cops and Royal Rumble draining the overtake, but he's not close enough on this occasion. Royal Rumble going slightly defensive. It's going to leave him vulnerable to the switchback from Adidas into Maggots and Beckett's. This Khan, wow, it has worked. Wound round the outside, his tyres more up to temperature than Royal Rumble's fresh mediums, and it's a beautiful move which sees him up into 13th place, in the hunt for Lucas begins now. Yellow flags as Willie Sangers retired on the exit of turn 1. Might bring out a VSC, and it has brought out the virtual safety car, so all the drivers have to apply to a said delta, which should be 40% off their usual speed. Kanan has completely ignored the VSC call, and it's now been upgraded to a full course safety car. Too much damage and debris at the exit of turn 1 has made the FIA deploy the second safety car of the race, and brings the likes of Lucas, Adidas, Royal Rumble and Jansu back into the mix of things as we now get the race neutralised for the next 3 laps. As well, it looks like we're racing here for the leaders. Vote kick surely will be into the pits. Nico Zora might follow him in. Everyone might be into the pits, and it's a disaster for AlphaTauri. It's a double stack. Maybe Vote kick should have slowed down a little bit, back up the field slightly to get him the distance. Liam sped in the pit lane. Everyone is into the pits. Whose end plate is that? That could be Kanan's end play for hitting the back. Robert Codfather stays out on the hard tyres and will be in 3rd place. Go, put that foot down. He's not going to be in 3rd place because he's got a delta to oblige to. This is going to be close. Everyone comes out the pits. Here goes Robert Codfather through turn 1. It's P4. But on worn, hard tyres. They can go to the end, but those behind him are on fresh. Hello and welcome to everyone watching from wherever you're watching in the world. I hope you're enjoying the action here at Silverstone for round 1, season 7 of the Premier Series. Who can add their name to podium sitters, winners, and at the end of the season, champion. The thing that everyone strives, the title that everyone strives for in motorsport. Techers shocked by the retirement of Willy Sanker, but overwhelmed with joy with the other Mercedes of Robert Codfather. Up in 4th place. You stayed out on those hard compound tyres. We'll have to wait and see how the strategy will pay out. I, however, am going to have a snack and something to drink before my throat disintegrates. Let's spell it. Let me get the Twitch chat up on my phone as well, because I just missed a comment from AB Techers. I saw it was something about the World Cup qualifiers between Egypt and Egypt and Senegal. Anyone wanting to watch the scores, I won't spoil it for anyone, just because, you know, just in case anyone hasn't watched the game and they want to watch the World Cup qualifiers. Zach is asking why doesn't Robert Codfather pit? Well, it's probably too late for him to pit now. He was in 12th or 11th, I think, before the safety car came out, so he would have filtered in and around that position. When he rejoined, I guess he's got nothing to lose, staying out on the hard compound tyres. 10 laps. Do we guys want... Yes, weather report. We want a weather report. I see a few clouds in the background, Mason. Tell me what I want to hear. If you say it's going to be dry for the rest of the race, then, well, that's boring. Safety car is in this lap. Tootie Boy becomes the de facto safety car. Looks like there's a lot less incidents than the previous safety car. Tootie Boy, Erod in Max Verstappen style, pulling up his best alongside Tootie Boy. It is sunny, isn't it? And I thought he went, and that's not good. It's the M25. There's wings off. There's an entire front wing off. Jansu's retired under the safety car. Penalties are being distributed everywhere. People are into a pit. Some drivers are inside each other. The safety car's still on track. Have we got another safety car? I don't know. Aaron and Will Jetsikev going water wheel into turn 1. Yellow flags in all 3 sectors. Jurchikev's round. He's backwards facing turn 3, rejoins at turn 4. Robert Godfather maintains 4th position for now. Still yellow flags with a stranded McLaren at the final corner and Aston Martin in the pit. Apparently rain is coming towards the end of the race, which should make it interesting. There's the Ferrari on the inside of a Red Bull, who forces him off the track. The Red Bull's having none of it. EGM Call gets back down the inside. Jurchikev now on the inside of Adidas after his spin. Will be looking for a fight through the field without trying to overcook his tyres. Oh no, they're into cops. Robert Godfather and Dutch Musso, and they've somehow made it work. Robert Godfather on those hard tyres just seems to be dropping down the field like a rock in a pond. Now down to 6th place. I think the problem with the safety car restart was Aaron pulled alongside Tootie Boy, and then Tootie Boy got an illegal overtake for re-overtaking Aaron, meaning he had to stop. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide into Stowe with Jitsi getting past Robert Godfather, and now on the inside of Adidas. Can't quite make it work. His teammate Erod fighting with DGM for a podium position as Jitsikev now to the outside of Adidas. Can he make this work on the softs? It's going to be the inside for the penultimate corner, but has to maintain 7th place for now. Chaos under the safety car, rain forecast for the end. Who knows what this action-packed race is going to bring in 9 laps time. The Ferrari of Dutch Musso gets back past Erod, up into 4th place, and will hunt down EJM Call for a podium position. Doesn't have a penalty though, does the Red Bull, which could see his will increase his chances of finishing higher than 3rd. Lucas on the inside of Robert Godfather after losing his front wing up under the first safety car, finds his way up into 8th place. Shawbread, you've missed a lot. You've missed a lot, my friend. We just had a chaotic safety car restart. Here goes Liam on the inside of Nico Zora. Can't quite find a way through. Is it alongside? I take the words out of my mouth and put new words in because he has found the room. Gets up into 10th place. Here goes Adidas on the back of his teammates who hasn't pit. Adidas on a fresher set of medium tyres. Isn't quite close enough to get the move done. What about in the background? We've got Alpine and the Williams. Nico Zora and Caden going wheel to wheel into Stowe. Caden gets up into 11th place. As Nico Zora tries fighting this back as the DRS becomes enabled. But that safety car incident might need to be looked at by the stewards. It'll be interesting to see Tootie Boy's POV. My guess is both drivers got illegal overtakes on each other when Errol overtook the McLaren, which he shouldn't do, which is what caused Tootie Boy to slam on the brakes at the penultimate corner and then caused a Mugello effect in the background. What's happening? We've got action on the track as Adidas and Errol exchange places. Robert Godfather trying to hang on to 1 point on those worn hard tyres. Everyone behind him though hasn't got a time penalty, so it's going to be hard for him to keep 10th place, especially on a harder set of worn set of hard compound tyres. Meanwhile, the front runner separated by 3/10. Vote Kick started this race. Let's have a look at the position changes. There you go, up 16 places. Can he make it 17? He starts to the inside. Left hand side of the screen, right hand side of the track becomes the inside. Gets the move down up in towards the lead of the race. Has climbed 17 positions from the start of the race. Yellow flags, and that's a McLaren round of Tootie Boy. Was there contact? I'm not sure. Jurchikev's off again. Has he got wing damage? Yes, he does. He's into the pits. This has not been the comeback Jurchikev would have wanted, and he has retired in the pit lane. Only 12 drivers are left as Tootie Boy now demoted to 7th place. Jurchikev quick to leave the session as Lucas on a recovery drive doing a pretty good job of it as he goes down the inside over the Haas. Gets the move down up into 5th place. Can now start to hunt down Adidas 3 seconds up the road. Looking to get him to go for a move on his teammate. Let's have a look at the time penalties. 3 seconds for Vote Kick and Royal Rumble, 6 seconds for Robert Codfather and Dutch Musa, 8 seconds for Tweety Boy and Liam, and 11 seconds for Rod. So he's definitely going to drop down through the field. And only 6 laps to go. Dutch Musa and Adidas now going wheel to wheel. The Ferrari on the inside of the house. There's spin contact between the two. Adidas is off into the wall. Might have just got the slight front wing damage. We'll see if he cuts across into the pits. He swings it back round. Will drop down to 9th, 10th, 11th place outside of the points and does pit. Another collision in this race and the Premier Series. Reminiscence of the Freshman League a few seasons ago. It's been a very, very chaotic race full of drama. Almost looked like the Haas lost the race slightly through the final, through Stowe, as judging by the face palm emoji in the chat, Jutsikev is not happy with this race, or his race I should say. I'm sure Vote Kick's loving life up in 1st position after starting from the back of the grid in the AlphaTauri, doing a stunning job. 1.5 seconds clear of EGM in 2nd place. Dutch Musso trying to close down the gap to finish on the podium because he's got Lucas behind him without a single second. As Kaden goes round the outside of Tweety Boy in towards Stowe, goes up into 6th place and hunt down Errol and 13 lap old Hards. It's going to be a tough job for Errol to finish this race in 5th place. Not only is he on the worst tyre, he's also got quite a few seconds worth of time penalties to his name. But the battle for 5th place is the one that is going to draw our attention to the end of this race. Don't discount out the battle for the podium position as Lucas is gaining on Dutch Musery. Lucas seems like someone to have keep an eye out in this championship after qualifying in 3rd on the mediums. Here goes Lim trying to go for the move on Tootie Boy in towards turn 6, but he's not going to find a way through. I say, hello. That was close. The Aston Martin tucks in behind the McLaren for now. The battle for 7th place could be extended to the battle for 5th. Here goes Lucas as well, trying to get his way past Dutch Musa. Are we going to see team orders at Ferrari? I would guess so, considering Dutch Musa has got time penalties to his name. Here he goes with the, there we go, team orders. Dutch Musa lets him go through. Kane up into 5th place. Aaron swipes across someone. Front wing damage for Tootie Boy of the Haas. Went to go back into the slipstream of the Williams and cut straight across the McLaren. That could be a penalty coming Aaron's way. Tootie Boy speeds into the pit lane in frustration and is into the pits to repair the front wing damage with 3 laps to go here at round 1 at Silverstone, providing a race full of action as Robert Codfather and Nico Zora get promoted an extra position. Royal Rumble might find himself in 10th place as well with a fresh win going on to that McLaren. Vote Kick needs to find an extra second if he is to win this race. 1.7 seconds clear of EGM Cool, but has got a time penalty. Dutch Musa runs wide through Cops. That's not going to help his chances of staying with his teammate and pulling away from Kanan. If he is to finish this race in 4th place, let's not look at penalties, let's wait for the end of the race to see. I can't remember. Who's got penalties. Here goes Tutti Boy on the inside of Adidas. And they're wheel to wheel through turn 6. The Haas still on the inside of the McLaren. They're still wheel to wheel, leaving each other just enough room, a car's width left on the outside of the track. In the run down towards Copse Corner, the Haas on the inside, the McLaren on the outside. Please don't swipe. Oh no! The Adidas is round. It's hard to tell what happened. I can't, yeah, Tutti Boy looked like it cut across the Haas, but that was inevitable. It is possible to go wheel to wheel through Copse. It's been done many times before. Most notably when myself and Jutsikev were fighting for the lead of this race a few seasons ago. But Adidas finds himself sideways, contact with the McLaren. Stewards are going to be busy at the end of this race. Here goes Liam, gaining on Elrod, hopefully, but the other house doesn't get the same treatment. Into Copse, they're wheel to wheel. That is how you do it. Liam on the inside, still going wheel to wheel with the house. I'll explain in a minute what happened, Jutsikev, under the safety car, as Liam trails Elrod through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel as Adidas has retired in the pit lane. On lap 24, here goes the Aston Martin of Liam to the outside into Stowe. Can he swoop around the outside? There's contact and the Haas is round. That was not great from Liam, kind of just swiped across on the inside. Someone's lost a wheel on the inside there. Don't know how that happened. Oh yeah, the safety car. Yellow flags in the first sector as the Haas retires from this race. Basically, Jutsikev, you were kind of in the midfield, so you got you kind of, you're in the middle of it. Under the start of the safety car, Elrod overtook Tutti Boy when he was slowing the pack down. So then when he let him back through, Tutti Boy got an illegal overtake, stopped in the final corner to let Elrod go back through, because but obviously under the safety car you can't overtake until green flag, so Elrod didn't overtake, but Elrod didn't know he had to overtake because Tutti Boy was trying to slow down to let him go through, because then the game gave him an illegal overtake, and then that's what caused the Mugello effect in the midfield. Everyone's stopping on track because the leaders stopped to let each other go through. In theory, one side of the argument, it's not anyone's fault because they're doing the right thing, they're doing what the game says to do, they're trying to get that back to the position. But on the other hand, they shouldn't be overtaken under the safety car. They should be keeping a good, reasonable gap to the car in front. For anyone in the chat who says, oh, but Max Verstappen pulls up alongside Charles Leclerc at Saudi Arabia, that's because that's real life, and I don't want to say they're sensible and we're not, but because it's real life. They don't need to do as much tyre warm-up as we do in the game. They drive a little bit quicker. The safety guard goes a little bit earlier. It's a lot different in real life to the game. So yeah, there shouldn't be any overtaking of the safety car. You shouldn't be putting up alongside someone unless you're flat out through the final corner. I mean, a solution would be, in theory, to put... No, that doesn't work. Never mind. I won't say my suggestion. But yellow flags as Royal Rumble is sparring at turn 1. But Vote Kick, he started this race down in 18th position after joining qualifying late when it was raining. Couldn't set in a lap. If he could only find a few more seconds, he would find himself leading this race. Well, he is leading this race, but by the time he crosses the line, he might not stand on the top step of the podium. He hasn't less weight for wearing a helmet. Stewards may need to look at that even after the race. But around the final corner, Vukic wins on track, sets the fastest lap of the race, but it's going to be EGM Cool in the Red Bull to take home the first win of the season, with Vote Kick finishing 2.5 seconds behind in second place. Lucas rounds out the podium, which could have been a great win, but a great recovery drive. Nevertheless, Kanan promotes himself up in the 4th. His Dutch Musso down to 5th on penalties. Liam in 5th place will finish in 6th, finishing 6th on track. Errod in 7th. Will he drop down to 8th? I don't think so. Looks like that position is going to be claimed by Robert Quadfather on the circuit. But Nico Zora jumps up to 7th place, finishing this race with no penalties. Errod in 8th, Robert Quadfather in 9th. Tootie Boy, it's been an interesting race for him. I think interesting is the correct word to use. Finishing this race in 10th place, Royal Rumble will finish in 11th, just shy of the points in that rain that was suggested earlier. Looks like it might just be coming in the next 10 minutes as the circuit gets a little bit cloudy to finish what has been a little bit of an interesting, chaotic, dramatised start to the season. Undoubtedly, Vote Kick 2 out of 5 has won the driver of the day. And there you have it. The Red Bull takes home the first win of the season, sprays the champagne. It's the South African who takes the win ahead of the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari as your top 3. So there you have it, EGM Cool wins the first race of the season, first race of the Premier Series, adds himself to the winners collection. Vote to Kick finishing in 2nd, ahead of Lucas in 3rd. Your top 3, Kanan in 4th, Dutch Musso in 5th, Liam from 19th to 6th, Nico Zora from 13th to 7th, and Robert Quadfather from 17th to 9th. Tootie Boy rounding out the top 10. Quite a few retirements in the names of Adidas, Juzikev, Jansu, Willie Sanker, Pies Chu, Mason, Lee Craig and Alexander rounding out the grid. But there you have it. That's the end of the first round at Britain. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for round 1 of the Super League, which hopefully will be a little bit more cleaner than this race here tonight. Those interested in GT7, not GT Sport, GT7 on Friday at 8 o'clock. We've got our first event in the GT3s at Daytona. Hey, GT7, well, GT Sport never disappointed. The best league racing I've ever seen. If you want to see good wheel-to-wheel action, tune in this Friday. Next week, though, these drivers will have the tricky task of negotiating the technical sectors, technical corners of COTA in USA. That should be an absolutely insane race if it's anything to judge by from this race. Strategy should be insane as well. But thank you guys for the engagement in the chat, all the lovely comments at the end. Thank you about that. It's great to be back doing commentary here in F1. Thanks everyone. Have a good rest of the day, good night, good morning from wherever you've been watching or racing in the world, and I'll hopefully see you all next week or this Friday, and I'll see you in USA. Adios.